As the days passed, Nneka's health continued to decline. Chijioke became more and more exhausted, and he began to rely heavily on Adaeze for support. Adaeze would visit the house daily, helping with meals and looking after Nneka, while Chijioke will work on the farm. But it wasn't just help that Adaeze was offering, it was something far darker. One evening, while Nneka slept fitfully in her bed, Adaeze and Chijioke were alone in the house. The night was quiet, with only the distant sounds of crickets and the rustling of trees in the wind. Adaeze, always graceful and charming, had found a way to get close to Chijioke. She would offer him comforting words, soft touches, and eventually she seduced him. She knew that Chijioke, worn down by worry and exhaustion, was vulnerable. It was a moment that changed everything. Adaeze knew what she was doing. She had always admired Chijioke, and now that Nneka was too healed to notice, she saw an opportunity to take what she had always secretly desired. She whispered sweet words to Chijioke, and in a moment of weakness, he gave in. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, guys. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do that now. Thank you. Diving into the world of folktale stories by Debbie, the story weaver. Once upon a time, in a quiet village called Umabasi, there lived a woman named Nneka. Nneka was known for her kindness, hard work, and strong sense of family. She had a loving husband named Chijioke, a strong gentleman who worked as a farmer in the village. Together, they had a peaceful life filled with laughter, love, and mutual respect. Nneka also had a best friend named Adaeze. They had been friends since childhood, playing together in the village fields and sharing their dreams of a better life. Adaeze was beautiful, charming, and always the center of attention wherever she went. She was also known for her quick wit and ability to make people laugh, but there was a hint of jealousy in her eyes that people never noticed. For many years, Nneka and Adaeze's friendship seemed unbreakable. They would visit each other often, and Nneka even trusted Adaeze to help with her household chores. Adaeze in return would talk about how much she admires Nneka's marriage and the love she shared with Chijioke. But as time passed, Nneka started to notice small changes in Adaeze's behavior. A glance at her husband that lingered a little too long, or a comment about how handsome Chijioke was. Nneka always laughed it off, thinking it was nothing more than a passing joke. However, life took an unexpected turn when Nneka fell ill. It started as a simple headache, but it soon grew into something much worse. She became weak, unable to get out of bed, and the local healer couldn't seem to find the cause of her illness. Nneka's condition worsened by the day, and her family became worried. Her husband, Chijioke, tried his best to take care of her, but the stress of working on the farm and looking after his sick wife was taking a toll on him. During this difficult time, Adaeze came to visit. She seemed deeply concerned about Nneka's health and promised to help. Don't worry, Nneka. I will help Chijioke with whatever he needs. You just focus on getting better, Adaeze said, her voice laced with concern. Nneka, though weak and unable to think clearly, trusted her friend. She had always been there for her, and she knew Adaeze would take care of things. But what Nneka didn't know was that Adaeze had other plans. As the days passed, Nneka's health continued to decline. Chijioke became more and more exhausted, and he began to rely heavily on Adaeze for support. Adaeze would visit the house daily, helping with meals and looking after Nneka, while Chijioke worked on the farm. But it wasn't just help that Adaeze was offering, it was something far darker. One evening, while Nneka slept peacefully in her bed, Adaeze and Chijioke were alone in the house. The night was quiet with only the distant sounds of cricket and the rustling of trees in the wind. Adaeze, always graceful and charming, had found a way to get close to Chijioke. She would offer him comforting words, soft touches, and eventually she seduced him. She knew that Chijioke, worn down by worry and exhaustion, was vulnerable. It was a moment that changed everything. But Adaeze knew what she was doing. She had always admired Chijioke, and now that Nneka was too ill to notice, she saw an opportunity to take what she had always secretly desired. She whispered sweet words to Chijioke, and in a moment of weakness, he gave in, and the betrayal was complete. For several days, Adaeze and Chijioke continued their affair in secret. Nneka, unaware of what was happening right under her nose, continued to trust her friend to take care of her husband. The village was busy with its usual activities, and no one ever suspected the lies and deception unfolding inside Nneka's home while she was sick. Nneka's health began to improve after a few weeks of rest, and she slowly regained some strength. One day, she was feeling well enough to get out of bed and move around the house. Chijioke and Adaeze were busy, and she had heard laughter coming from the kitchen. Nneka smiled, thinking that maybe her friend was finally making her husband laugh again, just like old times. But as Nneka entered the kitchen, she froze. What she saw was enough to shatter her heart. Chijioke and Adaeze were sitting close together, sharing an intimate moment that Nneka had ever imagined. Adaeze was laughing softly, her hand resting on Chijioke's shoulder, and Chijioke's face held a look of guilt mixed with something else, something that Nneka couldn't quite put into words. Nneka's heart sank as the pieces fell into place. She could see it in their eyes, the way they looked at each other, the closeness, the affection. It was something that Nneka had never seen before. She was in pain. Her voice finally caught in her throat as she spoke, barely above a whisper. Adaeze, Chijioke, what is this? Chijioke's face turned pale as he looked up at his wife. He tried to speak, but the words wouldn't come out. Adaeze, with her usual charm, stood up quickly and approached Nneka. Nneka, I I never wanted to hurt you, she said, her voice sweet but cold. But Chijioke, well, he has always been so kind and you were sick. I couldn't help myself. Nneka felt her world crumble. She had trusted her Daisy like her sister, and Chijioke, her husband, had been the man she loved and built a life with. To see them both betraying her right there in her own home was more than she could bear. Tears filled Nneka's eyes as she turned to Chijioke. How could you do this to me? I was sick and you were supposed to be by my side. Chijioke's eyes was filled with regret, and he knelt beside her, begging her, Nneka, I am so sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen. It was not. Please forgive me. But Nneka couldn't forgive him. Not yet. The betrayal cut deep, and her heart bled and was hurt. For the woman whom she called her friend betrayed her. She looked at her Daisy, her face full of disappointment. You, you were supposed to be my friend. How could you do this? Adaeze, sensing the anger in Nneka's voice, took a step back. I never meant to hurt you. I just I just wanted what you had. I wanted the love, the attention, the life that you had with him. Nneka took a deep breath, her voice steady but full of pain. Your desire for what I had blinded you, Adaeze. But in the end, all you have done is to destroy our friendship and break my heart. You are no longer worthy to be called my friend. Turning to Chijioke, she spoke with a quiet strength. As for you, I need time. You need to prove to me that I can trust you again. I don't know if I can ever forgive you. I will need time away from you too. The betrayal had shaken Nneka to her core, but she knew that she had to be strong for herself. She left the room, her heart heavy, and walked away from both the people whom she wants to love, but now had betrayed her. She needed time to heal. The days after the betrayal were not easy for Nneka. She spent time away from the house, staying with relatives who offered her support and love. Chijioke and Adaeze both tried to apologize several times, but the damage was done. Nneka knew that things would never remain the same. Over time, Nneka healed. She learned to trust herself again, and with the help of her family, she built a new life. As for Adaeze, the village soon learnt of the betrayal, and the people who once admired her for her looks turned their backs on her. Chijioke too spent many years trying to earn Nneka's forgiveness, but she never allowed him back into her heart after what he did. In the end, Nneka became stronger. She learned that true friends will never betray you, and that the love of a good husband should never be taken for granted. Though the wounds took time to heal, Nneka found peace and with it, the strength to be able to rebuild herself. Thank you for watching.